Okay. So last class we start to talk about stuff, then disturbing emotion, negative emotion, in order to knowing that why we have to work hard for eliminating or reducing mental afflictions. So therefore, the chapter 4, rest of stanzas are talking about it's important to either reduce or eliminate all this disturbing emotion, negative emotion, but it's not really talks about what are the disturbing emotions. Therefore, I think it's good to know before we talk about that. So, and then regarding the Buddhism texts, we counted 6 root mental afflictions or negative emotion and 20 secondary mental afflictions. So within 6 root mental afflictions, we finish that talks about the attachment, and then next we talks about the anger. So anger, we just started last time. Let me read it again. The anger definition of anger here. Say, what is the anger? It is mental factor that arise in relations to sentient beings, one's own inner suffering, and the source of that suffering. Source of suffering could be thrown, or source of suffering could be the food and weather, whatever you receive suffering. That's kind of talking about source of suffering. So these are the way the main the observation object, that possibility that you can manifest anger through by these three objects, right? And then the aspect of that angers, or how we thinking when we anger arises, and talks here say such as a harmful object thrown and even ever. Okay, sorry that. And then by focusing on this, the mind becomes filled with the resentment through the 9 aspects of malice. So that is how we thinking, or aspect of the thought, or aspect of the anger. What is the 9? Here it talks about the 9. What was this?
9 aspects of
9 aspects of malice. So the 9 aspects, you can think also the 9 aspects are the cause of anger as well. So what are the 9 aspects is like say, the 3 refers to your own, and 3 things refers to your relatives who you love, and 3 refers to the enemies. So first, which is 3 refers to your own, thinking they harms to me. This is the one manifests your anger when you think that they harms to me, and they harmed, the past tense, they harm to me, also makes you anger when you think that, and they will harms to me, right? So also makes you get anger when you think that. When just 3 refers to you. And then 3 refers to your relative or who you love. They harm to them, or they are harming, or they will harm. So whenever you think one of those, you're having anger, manifested anger. And then other 3 is a little bit opposite aspect there. It's different than 2, which is yourself and your relative, right? So now opposite is, you say, when someone the help or benefit to your enemy, that cause you have anger, and then that's looks like the past and future and present, the benefited and benefiting or will benefit or helping them, right? So isn't that cause of anger? The enemy or the people who you really don't like it, and then you see someone helping them, right? Then it causes you to have anger, isn't it? Right? It is. So this 9 aspect of the malice to continuous having. And at the moment, anger is having harmful intentions. So that makes you differentiated between the anger and prostate, right? So anger must have that kind of aspect or thought that I want to harm them, right? So this is how we define the anger. So, and then it is turning into resentment or not, it's depend. But at least whether the cause it's in front or not, like say the example, the person who caused you have anger, whether that person is in front of you or not, or whether you see them or not, your harmful intention will continue manifesting. That's the called anger, right? So and then generating intention to harm others, and it functioning. Now its affections is as a basis for unhappy state and negative contact. So negative contact means like it arises on our, like a negative, could be the negative actions, right? Or could be the another negative emotions can arises. So this is the how affection. First, number one, will continues have an unhappy whenever we have anger. Your mind is not calm. Your mind is really feeling really unpleasant, right? So that's the anger actually. If you know the anger, then you can differentiate between the other negative emotion, right? This is clear now. What are the observation object? What are how is aspect at the moment having anger, and what affections? What is the affected, right? So okay, this is anger, and then more detail we will talk on when we talk about the chapter 6 of the Shantideva text. Here only the cause counted 9. Shantideva text counted 24 causes for anger, and then also they give us advice or teach us the remedy for each the cause, how we can overcome by the cause of anger and anger itself, right? Okay, so we'll talk this next time. So, and then next, the pride. The pride is also one of the root mental afflictions. When we say root mental affliction, it means like it can be brings you many different others mental affliction arises. The root means, right? So let's see the what is pride? It is mental factor characterized by the what called grandiose sense of self arising from perceiving one's own excellent qualities, such as a good attitude, wealth, and so forth. So those are the observation object to the big condition to possible manifested or arising your pride, right? These are the objects that possible to having pride. So and then the aspect or the thought, how thinking at the moment when we pride manifested. So it says, and it's an inflations, right, of the mind that arise upon perceiving one's power.
Possessions.
Yeah, possessions, social class, family lineage, or even qualities like pleasance, wise, or grand strength. So what's all great? Okay, great strength. So okay, it like one's pride. It simply says it's kind of like feeling of something that how can I say Kangba let me find out the word you say.
The word for filling up is there.
Inflations?
Yeah.
Yeah. So inflation of the mind. Inflation of the mind, like say, when the cup of the water, right? When we pour the full of the cup of water, and then if we need to add more water on that full cup, and now goes in, it's always go out, right? So then that kind of things. The pride makes you like I'm like a fully qualified, no need more, some kind of that, right? Either like the knowledge or any technique, idea, whatever qualities you think I'm very qualified, and then not necessary to receive like any advice from others. So I'm just fully handle myself. That's kind of mind thoughts comes, right? So, but your own qualities, your own physical healthy, all these things makes you more pride. So these are the observation object. Thoughts are like the impressions, right? If you love, and then look at the functioning. It functions as a basis for disrespect toward others and for the arising of suffering. So disrespect through your like verbal, your physical action, your mental actions, right? So the verbally disrespect means you are never praising to other. Once your pride arises, at that moment, you're not complimenting to other, or you don't like to compliment to other because you are the best. And then the body actions, you are never shows as respect. The hands gesture, whatever the body attitude actions, you never shows as respect to other, or you don't want to show that. So, and then mental, like I say, you cannot think, if the example, the person, so you cannot think that person is the wonderful or best or nice. That kind of pride, right? It makes you distinguish between others. And then additionally, once pride manifested, you may more looking down to them, right? You look down to them, like I say, you don't want to talk to them because you are lowers, I'm supreme, right? And then you don't want to associate with any kind of things. That is the pride. Let example say, sometime it's happening, say we don't want to associate with the children or kids, or they do not know anything. It's wasting my time, right? Kind of these things. There could be the pride, right? So if we count counted the number of the pride or division, there are 9 types of pride that we talks about it. So 9 types of pride. The pride generally what we're thinking is, I know everything, or I'm the best. So I'm just letting you know there are 9 types of pride. You can find it from online. Within 9, the little bit complicated. The other tools are. So one is the saying, I'm not the best. I'm not the best, but comparably, comparing to others, I'm not best, but I'm a little bit better than this, better than them, little bit better than them. It's like a not strong pride, but still counted as a pride. And then this could be the complicated for you to knowing how is pride, right? So otherwise, look at that there are nine different type of the pride, and generally now you know that what is the observation object, an aspect of that mind, and then what the affections or functionings. It also says arising of suffering, so other suffering, right? Disrespect and arising suffering. So another the pride could be, let's say, okay.
Geshe. But you can also be proud of somebody else, like a father. Parents can be proud of their children because they achieved something.
They achieve something.
Is that one of the types of pride?
Yeah, many times we use this kind of word, say, I'm proud of you, right? But at the moment, I don't know really the thoughts of the aspect of that mind. When we say I'm proud of you, it's really you're saying you are happy with you, or you're really saying I'm rejoicing you. I do not. I'm feeling better for you, right? It's not really pride then, right? It's not really pride, but it could be, your own children. It could be have a pride. Say, okay, now my children is the best, right? Yeah, so that could be the cause to arise your own pride, sorry. So otherwise, whenever we say I'm proud of you, it's not necessarily it is the pride. When at the moment the mind is not necessarily pride. It kind of like shows happy, right? I'm happy with you, or could be I'm rejoicing with you. You are the result. But it's openly saying I'm proud of you. That means like having pride is good. But here saying that if you know exactly what is the pride, and then then it is counted here dystrophic emotion or negative emotion, which we have to abandon, which you have to eliminate. It's not be to show up to having it. It's not good qualities, right? So, and then the bottom line, why those are the object of abandonment, because it's cause of suffering. That's the result. Yeah, that's the best reason. Those are the cause of suffering. Okay. So, and then it's because of rethinking, the having pride is necessary. Therefore, when we're young, the two children, we are encourage them to have the pride, right? We are teaching them have a pride. So be proud of yourself, and then the excellent. So you are the best. So I do not know these are the best way to give advice, or is good to them have a pride or not, right? So, but the encouragement is not necessary. Let them have pride, right? So there are many different ways to encourage them to have a better study and behave. It's not necessary to let them have pride, then they come over, right? Recently, I met one of my friend, but it's not necessary what he shared is right, always happening, right? He said, when we go outside, the kids from America, kids from other countries, we can easily distinguish. So kids from America, they can talk, they can do anything, shows a lot of pride. So the other are like a little bit shy and embarrassment, not really openly talk. So that's kind of happened. He thought that. So So, but I don't know. It's like an embarrassment or shy is good or not. I don't think it's really also good for study or like to grow your anything in your life. But also the pride is not good as well. So, a lot of interrupting then. If you have a pride and someone talking, you cut the middle and comes and you talked. So you always think I'm right to talk, and then some kind of things. It makes you really disrespect for anyone's, right? The community or friends or teacher or parents. So therefore, we have to really think to I don't know, here the mostly the idea to taking care of children's or the methods are influenced by science, right? Isn't it? I don't know. Is this mostly influenced by science? And then their research, I don't know. The physical research, they are the best in the world. The mental research, I don't know they are the best or not. So, right? Therefore, we keep conversation with the parents who come here to look at our life, how we grow up, right? So the few of my friends now, they're having newborn children, and then they very much follows the advice by the doctor and anyone's, right? Of course, it's good, but it's not that much careful to necessary, because look at our life, how we grow up. In my own experience, we went through by many difficult times, and then sometimes that my parents let us, when we are baby, they are asleep on like a dust and a field. They are farmer, right? They have to walk on the field, and then we are asleep on there, no protection at all. So, but right now, I don't think it's affected my mind or affected my behaviors, affected my wisdom, any kind of my capacity and ability in my mental. I don't think it's affected by having a lot of difficulty in daily life when we were young, right? So, on the other hand, we are like very much taking care here as follow the science, or don't do this, don't do this. It's kind of like taking care as like egg. So if like a egg throws is easily break, right? So that much we taking care, and then result when they grow up, seeing very impatient. I don't know. That's just sharing my perspective. Okay, it's not necessarily right. So I see that it's very impatient. Very simple things. They're not impatient. They are impatient to sleep in the ground. They are impatient to eat like the food, right? And they are impatient with the weathers. They're impatient with the community, having like a company with others. And look at the lockdown time. They have to sit in the room, and then how much impatience there. But look at the other our community where I grew up. I do not see that much problem at there. So and then even today, we raise up many kids in our monastery. Right? They can sit down in the floor, or they can eat anything. The weather, they can handle any kind of the circumstances. Not easily complaining, right? So because at the way beginning, that's how we train them, and we are the simple things. We try to not let them complain anything. So the not listening it, or just giving like some kind of advice, it's okay, or because of reason, and right. So they're handling any circumstances and any situations. Here, children's not that much, same ages, 10 years. So you can research it. Yeah.
I spend a good deal of time with a 9-year-old, and I love this kid, but he's always on his phone the whole time. And I'm the fun hippie auntie next door, and I really try to encourage him, but I don't know how to. He's mother and him, like it's all about technology, and their brains are forming, like their brains understands that they're living like that, and then people who don't are totally different. I'm trying to tell that to him the other day. I don't know what to do. He was good the other day at Westcott for 2 hours. He sat there really good. But the next night I took him to an open mic and he was on his phone the whole time. And he has social anxiety because of how much he's looking at this tiny little thing and not actually living the beauty of real life. And I don't know what to do about that.
So here they're describing anxiety and depression things, right? When we grow up, we do not know these kind of things there. We do not know anxiety or we do not know a depression as an illness.
My generation didn't know that.
No. So I was just sharing first when we were young. So I'm just sharing that we do not know these kind of things is our illness, right? And then, of course, they are unhappy there, happy there as a kids, right? Of course, or disappointment there, or dissatisfaction there, always there. But it cause them have anxiety, cause them have depression. We do not know these things, and then as we do not know, we do not consider it as a illness, or we don't think we have to careful about these things. We just keep as a nature, and then when they grow up, they grow as a nature. So because they do not know it's an illness. If they know this kind of things, illness, let's say, oh, now you have anxiety, make them more anxiety, right? So leave it there, whatever happening, we just say it's okay as up and down life happening with us. Same will happening with kids, same, right? So we just make it more normal. I'm not saying do here, okay? What we did in India. So where I grew up, so we did them like as a normal, and then it's not really affect long terms. So when they grow up, all this like a time change everything time by time, and as not considered as anxiety is kind of illness, then they do not hold it there, and when they grow up, it's gone. Without any Medicare, right? Keep as normal. But here, as we're labeling it's kind of the illness, either we need to see the doctor or take medicine or see the psychiatric, so many things happening here that makes them more I think worse, make them more worse to telling these kind of things, right? So my logic always thinking, if anxiety is an illness, why not anger is illness then? It's kind of like the same things, unhappy, and then the why not afraid is the illness then, right? So afraid could be the cause of the anxiety. So if anxiety illness, afraid should be illness, anger should be illness. But when they look at something happening when there arises anger and afraid, something happening, some mentality, the problem there, right? So, but every keep is normal, afraid and say anger, every keep normal, then it's up and down, it comes and goes and comes and goes, right? We never think I have to take medicine for my anger, because not describe it as well that, right? We do not describe anger is illness and you are so bad and so on and so on. We keep as nature. So, okay, Yeah, this is how I'm just sharing how we grew up. um, and then here I do not know what really need to talk. Um, just sharing our own experiences, then you can learn from there something. Otherwise, we don't. I don't have a really word to say. Do this, don't do that. So yeah.
May
So
I may I ask a question, Geshe?
sure, sure.
Thank you for the teaching today. We were talking about the term "I'm proud of somebody." I'm proud of him. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of myself, and I think there's more. There's definitely more to it than being happy for someone. When you use that term, it always implies self-involvement. So you can't be to say I'm proud of a complete stranger's success is the wrong use of the word. You can say I'd be happy for them, but when you say I'm proud of you or I'm proud of them, it's always in association with the success. Like you're proud of your student or you're proud of a relative, you're proud of your children who's you were you were a part of their success. Like that's part of the use of that term. And I'm wondering in that context that would be considered a defilement, right? And an inflation of the mind. I mean, to get too caught up in your participation in other people's success. When you say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you," there's that implication of like, I kind of helped a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I do not know it's defilement or not, as I mentioned earlier. So, but I'm thinking instead of I'm proud of you, just say I'm happy to you. It's
Right.
more,
It's selfless, right? I'm
yeah,
happy
right,
for you is selfless, right? But
yeah,
there's a little string attached with I'm proud of
yeah.
anybody. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So say I'm happy to you. It will be the more truth then. Exactly you are, then that's how you're saying. I'm proud of you. Then if we have a different definition of pride, then I cannot say anything. Otherwise, the same definition of pride, then it's not really telling truth,
Right.
right?
But
So
one
yeah.
would want to avoid getting too caught up in, oh, I'm so proud of my students' success
Uh-huh.
in that attached way, right? Or I'm so proud of
Yeah,
my children's athletic, successes because, right? Just the you want to arrive at the selfless happiness for their successes without your,
it is.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
then, yeah, thank you. So in our language, most of the time we use either I'm not saying I'm happy, I'm rejoicing you. That's the we use it. And then the rejoicing is antidote for jealousy. So, and then rejoicing is necessary to have it. So, therefore, using this kind of term in our daily life. So, yeah, the word changed a lot of thoughts. Well, a lot of the words change a lot of our attitude as well. So, therefore, we have to also careful how to say it, how to talk it. Um, because the most the conversation, the words are influenced by others. Some are saying and then sees is beautiful, and then next are saying this, and then third generation is saying this, fourth generation is saying this, and then it's become some kind of the linguistic, right? So but we have to rethink how we say it or how we talk to them, right? Okay. Anyhow, so okay, that's the pride, and then considering here the pride that the based on this definition, the pride is 100% negative emotion which have to be reduced or abandonment. It useless. Not for not useful. It's 100% useless. So look at the affections, either cause you have more suffering, or it arises you either defilement, and it makes you distinguished from others, or brings more disrespected. So it this thoughts brings this kind of effect to us, then all these are negative, right? Disrespect are negative, distinguishing for others is negative, and then having suffering is negative, and this is the cause. Then it should be negative then, right? That's how we need to determine it, right or wrong. Okay, so now the next we are talking about the ignorance. Ignorance here, sometimes we use defilement ignorance or mental afflictions ignorance. So because there are few different type of ignorance, but I don't have to, I don't think we have to explain here. So just keep as ignorance, right? So the ignorance here saying it is mental factor that engage its object and confuse manner, and it's a function as the basis for arising of other mental afflictions. As well as you have ignorance, then all the other defilement will be arises. But the observation object, ignorance, its observation objects is kind of like a, let's say, good morning. So you are observing any object, but you are not knowing the reality of the object, and then you are describing something out of the reality. So that's kind of the ignorance. You're thinking either you are having lack of knowledge, or you are lack of knowing reality, or you are knowing as a wrong or mistaken. Both are ignorance. Ignorance is not just lack of knowledge. Ignorance could be wrong, knowing mistaken, or understanding mistakenly is also the ignorance, right? Say, like say my body is impermanent, but we always thinking as a permanent. My life as reality is impermanent, but we thinking as a permanent. As well as our relationship with other, it is impermanent. And the reality it's impermanent, but we thinking as permanent. So that's our mistaken. This is ignorance too. So, and then what affections there? Why is mental defilement? Why is need to be? How is caused us having suffering? Because you thinking relationship is permanent, then you expecting like a keep relationship forever, right? You do not see it going to change, or you do not expect it will change, because you think it as permanent, right? Once it's changed, then surprise, it's cause you suffering. And then also, let's say that's kind of thing. And then also as brings you a lot of different type of mental defilement as affections. So let's say example again, this thinking relationship as a permanent, and then you're having a lot of attachment for having continuous relationship, right? And then sometimes you have a jealous to other, to who try to anger to other, who are disturbing your relationship, or so on, so on. All those kind of things, mental affliction or defilements arises through by the ignorance. These are the example, right? So, and then you see that's like how brings us, cause us to have suffering, and how it arises different type of mental or other mental defilements. Then as you know that, then we have to overcome by ignorance, right? So overcome by lack of knowledge, overcome by the understanding wrong, right? So that's are the the ignorance, how we described it. And then sixth, the fifth one is we call it should be said defilement doubt, the doubt or mental reflection doubt, because all the doubt is not necessary, is defilement, right? So therefore here the sixth root mental defilement, the doubt is the doubt of defilement or defilement doubt. That we should say it. But you having doubt, it's on like what call doubt on truth or doubt on reality. Just take an example, right? That's simple. So again, same example I can take it, that the relationship life is it's impermanent, but you have a doubt that it is impermanent or not. You really cannot decide it. So until not decided, that's problem, right? So, or could be the total more negative, is impermanent or permanence, maybe permanence. It's now you more toward to negative because out of the reality is impermanent, right? So this kind of doubt cause you suffering, therefore is counted as a defilement, which is having doubt on reality and truth, right? And then let's take example. Definitely we have a doubt on karma and future life and previous life, right? Mm-hmm. But that doubt is defilement or not, that's depend on how you understand reality, right? If you after the research it, after analyze it, then you found it the previous life and future life exists, then the earlier doubt might be defilement, right? Until then, we cannot say it is defilement, right? Who believe previous life and future life, when they look at, they might say it's defilement, but not necessarily other people might say it's defilement. But it is the defilement or not defilement, it depends on not someone said or not said it. It's really how much affected in our daily life, affected negative or affected positive. That's how we need to find it out, right? And then let's say I have a doubt for creator. So is this defilement or not? Again, it's depend. It's when I found it, the creator exists, it's real, it's a truth, then that doubt could be the defilement, mental reflections. And then after analysis, I do not found the creator or these things, then that doubt not necessarily is defilements, right? So it's really depend. But again, whether the use that doubt is defilement or not, as well as like it's that doubt affected you in your daily life, then it's considered as a defilement, right? So otherwise, generally I can say that doubt on the reality and truth. That's the but the reality truth, which is reality and truth, it takes time to understand, right? Yeah. Okay. It says here, where's the functioning things? with regard to object, truth, doubt, mental state, and through its powers, webs to engagements, divided into the three. Okay. Not really said about the affections here, right?
No.
Okay. The doubt actually what call to obscure to understand the object of engagement and object of abandonments. What I have to engage it, what I have to abandon, what I have to take it, what I have to leave it. So we will not know what things need to engage, what things need to abandon because of doubt, right? So, and based on that, sometimes you might engage wrong, that cause suffering. Sometimes might abandon right things, that cause suffering. So, right? So right now, we are abandoning compassion. Is this right or wrong? We have to think, right? So, and then we are engaging anger. Is right or wrong? We have to think, right? So that's the how it makes us confused or not clear. Know that what should I have to engage in order to having peace life or calm minds, right? So this kind of things, the doubt. And then the last sixth one is we call the wrong view, and then limited here. Wrong view, okay. Wrong view is you observe on any object, but thinking is exactly wrong. And I can go back to the same example, impermanent, impermanent. So with thinking exactly permanent, relationships are permanent, it is wrong. You're viewing them as a permanent is wrong, right? So that's the aspect or thought of the wrong view. And then the wrong view brings you a lot of different suffering. That's the its cause of suffering. Okay, these are the generally 6 type of mental root mental afflictions. So all this clear or not? Yes.
Would a afflicted view be an unreliable cognizer?
Say it again.
Unreliable cognizer?
Unreliable cognizer,
Would
yeah.
that be, so an unreliable cognizer would be afflicted by afflicted view?
Can you give me an example?
Like someone who sees the sky as green, and then that would be an unreliable cognizer because they're saying the sky is green, so they'd be afflicted by afflicted view of the sky.
Yeah, you can take this. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So yeah, you are cognizing totally wrong, right? So yeah, that's we consider as a wrong view here, and this is the one example, and then you are like there are many different realities there. So you having mistaken understand on any view, right view, those are the considered as a wrong view here. So yes, you can take as one example, yeah.
And then would afflictive view cause afflictive doubt?
Afflictive view cause it will arise. It's not necessary the afflictive doubt. Afflictive view is you're deciding something. It is you are comprehending some object. So doubt is not comprehending any object, right? It's just in the middle. You do not know what is right or wrong. You cannot engage anything. So, but the wrong view are you are deciding something. It is. This is how it is yellow. Let's say the sky is yellow. You are like deciding it. You're thinking. You're determining it, right? So this is the wrong view. But doubt could be Yeah, doubt is not really, doubt could be cause for arising the wrong view, but wrong view cannot be cause for having doubt.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. All is clear, right? Now, I do not know, we should talk about all the 20 secondary mental afflictions. Those 20 secondary mental affliction is arises from the six the root mental afflictions, and basically within six root mental afflictions, the main three mental afflictions are attachment, anger, and what we call ignorance, right? So those are the main, and then all the secondary mental afflictions either arises from attachment or anger or ignorance, or some mental afflictions, secondary mental afflictions arise from all these three. Some are individually arise from attachment. Some are individually arise. Like I say, the first one is called the what called rage. Rage is arise from anger, right? This kind of things. So, but just let you know, let's say rage, resentment, and what called spite, and jealousy, and what called here, look at the 10th, violence. Those are arise from anger, right? But we not say these are anger, but it's kind of like some kind of angers there, arise from anger. Those are, right? And then look at here. Here translate as avarice, the sixth one, right? The sixth avarice, and then
I don't really know what that means.
I'm gonna look it up now. Me too, right?
so, what's that?
I don't really know what that means.
Oh, okay.
I don't have
It's
my
kind
fingers
of like the stinginess or avarice. When I look at the dictionary, it's saying you are too much attaching on material, on anything, never let it go. So that's kind of things like over attach.
Doesn't it also mean that you want something someone else has?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and then sometimes we translate as stinginess. Yeah, stinginess. Okay, so it's the stinginess, and then what were the 9 ones? Arrogance. Arrogant, actually, we have to explain here, otherwise might be confused with the pride, right? So if you look at all the definition here, you can see. Okay, anyhow, first let me talk about that. Stinginess, arrogance, and then where is it? Where excitations are these three are arises from attachment. Okay, and then see here concealment. Concealment, again, we'll look at the definition after that. Okay, concealment, and then where is it? Dullness, and faithlessness, and then laziness are arise from ignorance. Okay, and then look at the pretense, the pretense and guile. Right after that, and number 8, the guile. Guile. Okay, so pretense, guile, and which is our topic, heedlessness. These three are arise from either attachment or ignorance, not from anger. And then last part here, shamelessness and non-embarrassment, or sometimes it says not concerning others. or what do you call it? Forgetfulness, and then lack of meta awareness, and then distractions. These 4 5s arise from all these 3 mental afflictions: attachment, ignorance, and anger. Sometime from attachment, sometime from anger, sometime from ignorance. So those are the secondary mental afflictions. Yeah.
What is meta awareness?
Lack of meta awareness or meta awareness?
Yeah, meta awareness.
Meta awareness, everything you're doing by knowing, it's awareness, right? But you're doing without any knowing. That's the lack of meta awareness. Yeah. Okay. As saying the secondary mental affliction means all these are the mental state. It's mind. It's not any physical form, or it's not the verbal actions, right? So in general, the verbal actions and the body actions always act by motivations or act by intentions, right? So therefore, it's not considered as a mental defilement. The body actions are not mental defilements. So it means like the mental defilement is not the physical body. Mental defilement is not the verbal actions, right? For example, here spite. The spite is actually the verbal actions, right? But why is counted defilement? The actual spite is where the intentions let you use the harsh word. That intention is actually spite. It's not the way you say something and it comes in the mouth or comes in the verbally. This is not the action, right? So let's say when we have anger, we use a lot of harsh words. Those harsh words are not anger, right? Or sometimes when we have anger, we might move to our physical body to hit someone. That moving physical body, that action of the physical body is not the anger. Those are the result of anger, right? So if it is anger without intention, it should move then. So without intention, you will not say any harsh word. Without intention or motivation, you will not use any violence, physical actions, right? So all the violence, physical actions, and the using a harsh word are always driven by intentions. And intentions is associated with the mental defilement, is turned into negative. The intention is associating with the right motivation, that makes you more the better actions, right? So all this how we have to describe. Therefore, I heard that when we have a conversation with others, what is anger? Sometimes they say, oh, the body action is anger, because when we have anger, our hands having fist, and then red face, and then yelling, all this attitudes. They see it, and they think it is the anger, right? Because most of the time in our daily life, the defining anything through by what we see, right? But beyond that, we are not thinking what is really the cause. So, and therefore, someone saying is the body action is the anger. If so, then without intention should have any, always the red face and the harsh, wrathful attitude, right? But always not having wrathful attitude. When we have wrathful attitude, when intention associating with one of the mental defilement, then we're having wrathful attitude, right? Intention or motivation associated with the anger, than having wrathful attitude. So therefore, actual mental afflictions or are the mental state, never describe the body actions and vocal actions. Those cannot be mental defilement. Those cannot be any kind of mental afflictions. Is this clear? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is important to know. Then you will see more deeper what is really this actions comes from where, right? You will see more deeper. They can handle. You can easily handle that. You know that I have to stop the bad intention instead of I'm stopping my body actions, right? So and then again that the negative intentions, then you will know that negative intentions also arises from one of the mental defilements, right? Which whenever is associating with the mental defilement, that negative intentions and motivations comes, which lead you to some kind of action, right? So therefore, the mental defilement is kind of like the main source, and it's arise you some kind of negative intentions that let you take some negative actions that cause you have suffering, right? That's how connected. But the mental development action could be the neutral. It's not necessarily negative, right? So mental development action could be, let's say, jealousy. You have jealousy, like a very impatient to seeing other excellency, and it's part of anger, but you not act anything, you're just having jealousy, right? Those as well as not comes in the physical actions, that's counted as neutral. It's not the negative or non-virtuous actions, right? So whenever comes out from your physical actions, then we can describe either virtuous actions or non-virtuous actions. But the mental defilement never let you have virtuous actions. That's one kind of clear decision, the statement here. But you don't have to decide that way. But here saying the mental defilements never ever brings you intention that lead you have virtuous action. Never virtue action. Virtue actions are never ever associating with a mental defilement. Okay? But only the two action could be either non-virtuous actions or neutral. That could be brings you the mental defilement actions, right? And but if I make like a more clear which part of the secondary mind or roots mind brings you completely non-virtuous actions, or who could be which mental affliction could be brings you the neutral actions, right? Let's say again, rage, and then resentment, and concealment, and spite, jealousy, and so avarice or stinginess, or violence, and then shamelessness, and then non-embarrassment, and distractions. These how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mental secondary minds only brings you non-virtuous actions. That cause you only have a non-virtuous actions. There are no neutral actions, right? Within this 10, the most worst is shamelessness and non-embarrassment. These two mental defilement is the worst. It's 100% negative. actions, brings you negative actions, right? So whatever, those 10 secondary mental afflictions are only cause you have non-virtuous actions. Never have neutral actions, never have virtuous action. Of course, the virtuous action cannot be because these are the mental defilement. It's clear? And other, like say, other 10, which is like pretense, guile, and arrogance, and what is called here, what is yeah, dullness, and then excitations, and then faithlessness, laziness, heedlessness, and forgetfulness, and then lack of meta-awareness. These 10 are brings you both the non-virtuous actions and neutral, right? Looks like we are not really studying how to deal with the daily life piece. It's an academic class. But it's important to know. It's important because we are learning to how to bring peace in life, right? Because we are finding out the cause which is disturbing us. Is not, which is disturbing to have peace, right? So it's important to know. Once you know that, then we can deal with it. So, right? Okay. So now you're clear which mental afflictions, the secondary mental afflictions are associating with the which root mental afflictions, and the mental afflictions brings you which actions with the virtue, non-virtue or neutrals. They are not the virtue action there, right? Not the positive action there. Okay, so and then instead of looking at the definition each, I think I can we can share you this the page. You can read it and then brings question next time, right? Okay, so but here the arrogance, it's like some kind of it's not just talking about general pride. It's arrogance is you having more like an arrogance on your own physical health or attractive. So there's some kind of specific object there. It's not anything, right? So it's not called you having arrogance on your knowledge. You having arrogance on your the either good health or attractive physical. That makes you arrogance. And then the violence is another way to say violence here is lack of having compassion or lack of having love to others. That's the violence. And then, of course, it's associating with some kind of the violence action too. But the actual violence is lack of having compassion or lack of having love. What I have to explain? The faithlessness. The faithlessness is not trust on truth. Right? You're not having trust on truth, not believing on truth. That's the faithlessness. So any faithlessness is not necessarily the mental defilement. Here the faithlessness is lack of having trust on truth. This is the faithlessness. So once you do not have a faith, you will not engage anything, right? So that's the how cause us to always toward wrong action or wrong path. Okay, so otherwise, I can ask you to read it, and then if you have any question on that, confusing or not clear, bring the question next time. Okay.
Which chapter is chapter 4.
No, this is I'm quoted like a take from other book.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Cha-
in the.
Yeah, chapter 4 not really talks about the definition of each mental afflictions. Chapter 4 talks about it's important to eliminate it or reducing it. Therefore, I thought if you do not know what is this, then it not makes you to reduce or eliminate it. That's the thing right now. All the point here, these are the mental defilement only brings you suffering. Then when it says eliminated, okay, now I should eliminate. That kind of things. I try to make this kind of things, okay? So, any question? Yes.
I feel very overwhelmed today, and I feel like it's a lot to process. And I think the Buddha was never married and didn't have kids. It makes the path.
He was married.
You what?
Yeah, he got married before he left, and he actually left his newborn son, and that's when he went off and went to go work on being enlightened.
So I guess the question is, can you be enlightened in the context of a marriage and a family and a?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely, yes.
It's the work. I get
Yes.
it.
But it more obstacle there.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it is possible,
Yeah.
right?
And I guess the question is, back to what you said, do we steer away from the obstacles, and live a solitary life, or is the work to embrace the chaos and the challenge that brings, right?
It's rare, you're right.
So I'm caught on that.
But still, there are so many things we can do the practice as a householder, and not necessarily stay away from all this family and so on and so on. But still we can do it, right? But we need a really skillful method, right? And then, at least as we're talking here, today's main subject is heedfulness, right? So we need that kind of heedfulness every time, whether you're with a family or without family, anytime you need it, right? So that's here different is the monk's life and the layperson life, right? So layperson life always could be associated with the families, and based on that you can do practice. The monk's life, our vows called renunciation, right? What renunciation means, you are renouncing to having family or family as well, right? And
Geshe,
Look-
isn't that why the Mahasiddhas lived in caves? To eliminate, isn't it easy to eliminate all these things?
Yeah, they are more braver than us. We are not enough having brave. Therefore, you do practice based on your encouragement. How much you're brave, that much you do it. If you have more brave, then you will do more. So, yeah. So let's say she presents like yes, Buddha did married. So when he was in the palace, and he abandoned his wife, his son, his parents, and he went out. Is this nice or not nice? Suffering, the parents having a lot of suffering, right? His wife having a lot of suffering, as well as children. What do you think about that?
Wow. Lucky us for knowing what he's done.
Well,
Right?
I just wanted to say one thing, because I combat all of that in my life too. Like, trying to deal with all these outside things and keep a level of equanimity in that. And that is the key for me of the practice, is to be a really good person in spite of, you know what I mean?
I understand.
And
But
I think monks
it's
have a hard
important to
time.
know that kind of things. What Buddha did it. looks like a very self-centeredness, very self-cherished. He wants to do his own things, then he don't care everything. Right? It's very self-centeredness.
Well, he came back, and then his wife was enlightened, and he helped his wife become enlightened, and he helped his son become an heart. Like, he came, like that selfishness allowed him to have like great compassion for everyone,
But what I can say, it looks like a selflessness, but the way beginning, Buddha intentions clear with the compassion. It's only cherish other, therefore we went out. I can say that. But if we not know exactly the reason behind it and then how it's worked that, then we see actually the Buddha is very self-centeredness, very self-cherishing, because he abandoned everything for his own purpose. But this is not his own purpose, right? Let's say my parents having always illness, okay? So then how many times I have to call doctor? Why not I should learn doctor first, then I can more take care of it, right? So then I asked permission, and then my parents leave it there. I went to learn doctor for 3 years, 4 years, not with my parents. So look at the intention from beginning while we studying doctor, and then every moment the intention is going back and helping my parents, always being there as a doctor, not being there as a son. It's different, right? So being there as son, we cannot help that much. We have to rely on someone, and then that relying someone has to follow the appointment. And the appointment we'll be having after a month, not today, right? So, and if being there as a doctor, we don't need an appointment, right? Every single minute we can take care of it. This is how reason. At the beginning to end, any actions associating with the compassion, associating with the cherish other, never ever have selfish, right? But when we look at, we see that as a selfish. But this is the possible, right? This is how the possible. The few time I raise this kind of example in order to knowing that complete the Buddha's the life story. It's the same that I will say again. The question will be okay, while you were heading to New York, you see someone injured in the road. And at the moment, we will have empathy, right? We'll stop the car and then hold that injury and pitying it, right? Yeah. So, but someone, when see the injured, they will continue to run to find the doctor, found the Medicare, and then returning, which is better. Both are nice action, right? Both are nice, compassionate, but once just run, ignore that injured person or animal, right? And just run to finding the Medicare or doctor. This is better, or just come out from car and pitying it's better? Which is better?
The other one is more effective.
Other one is more saviors,
More
right?
effective.
Yeah. So, but it possible could be die before it's come back. But pitying is not makes any difference to save life. Right? That one is more possibility to save life. But otherwise, both are same. Ignoring is actually not saving life, is same. But which we see is pitying is better. At least come out from car and then just hold it. It's better. The who runs, not really nice. But they do not see the intention there. But it could be die before come back. But again, same is not different than who pitying it, not saving it at all, right? So pitying is not cures the illness. So we act based on our intention and our emotion, right? So the one intention is runs, one intention is come out. The both are try to save, but the more effective is who runs, possibility to save, because they can bring Medicare or doctor to save. So this is exactly how Buddha did it. This is exactly how we abandoning family, right? So in the monk's life, this is how Buddha did it. The monk's life is abandoning the family. This is your choice whether you abandon or not, right? But when you choose the abandoning family, then why are you going back?
Yeah.
It is your choice. And let's see, in our monastery, there are many kids comes. Like say myself, I was become a monk when I was 10-year-old, right? And then still there are like 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds, 6, 7-year-olds, they are monks there. So once they comes from parents, they will not see parents after 5 years, 6 years, or 10 years. They can, so today opportunity they can call, they can talk, but our time, no, never can talk. Right? There are no phone line. Of course, there are no cell phone. So, and then my parents are live in a very like a solitary place, this small village. Even there are no post office there. Right? So I never ever see my mother after I become a monk. So when I become a monk, I cannot go back. I have to stay in the monastery. When I return, get a chance to return to, my mother is already passed away, which I do not know. So, but look at this, the life circumstances. Very difficult to judge which is right or which is wrong. But let's say, as myself have a lot of having like a deep sadness, not seeing my mother's, I can say not really. But still, I'm thinking kindness of my mother's. Even today, I'm thinking kindness of my mother's, right? So, but I do not have the deep sadness that I never meet her since I was 10-year-old. So even I do not know she's passed away.
You don't know now?
I know after, like, I became a monk like around 1979. Then 1992, I get a chance to go back. And then when I went back, my mother's already passed away, like 2 years ago. 2 years ago, yeah, 1990. So I know after 2 years, she passed away. But not the deep sad at the time, right? So, and then when we look at our Vinaya rule and textbook, exactly said it that renunciation means it's not only that you have not having family, as not only that you abandoning that not having families, you are not associating as well as other family members that much. Right? So this kind of the monk's life. Anyhow, so it's difficult. It is challenge, right? So therefore, without like a finding isolating, but as well as you use the heedfulness, you can always do practice. I'm just sharing wants to clarify that Buddha's life story and then monk's life. Yeah. Yeah.
Geshe, he had a wife, right?
What's that?
Not Milarepa, Milarepa is
Milarepa,
Yeah, he had a wife, right?
Milarepa never had a wife.
Oh, for some reason in the book I read about Milarepa had a wife.
No.
Marpa, his teacher? Or
Milarepa's teacher. Milarepa's teacher has a wife. Milarepa is having layperson vows. Layperson vows has a two type. One can have householder, one cannot be. So then Milarepa is never have never become a householder or family. Yeah.
But his teacher did.
His teacher, yeah. His teacher, yeah.
And because I guess when you say like, oh, household, how do I, that's what I think of when people ask, is like, there's teachers who are very great beings who add, well, even a kid could be a partner and was able to
He
help.
had kids.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Oh,
both had kids.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And he taught Noreiko, who's like a Bodhisattva.
Yeah.
Who was a very, or was he Bodhisattva or Haya?
Who?
Noreiko.
Middlebury finally enlightened.
Oh, yeah. So
Enlightened, yeah.
fully enlightened, he taught.
In a lifetime.
Regard.
So there's teachers who are very, very
got it.
handy.
Perfect.
And families.
So in our daily life, even we not enlightened, at least like reduce the anger 60-70%, that's peaceful. That's our goal. So that's enough, very enough to finding enlightenment in our daily life, right? So, and then again, it takes time to eliminating or reducing anger and other mental defilement, like 50-60%. It takes time, right? As well as how much you reduce it, the mental defilement, that much your life changing at a different way, right? That's how we're finding the peace life. Okay? Yeah. Okay, any other question? Okay. So, Chopal, can you send them this text? Yeah. And it has 3 things you should know: that observation object, and then aspect of that thoughts, like a mental development, and then affections, result. Yeah. You learn all the each development by three categories. Okay, so thank you so much. So we're going to stop here, and then from next Sunday, either you can come here. It will be only remote. I have to go California for 1 month, and we can invite some guest lecturer, and then some are saying, let me talk continuous on that. So you can come here in a video, so or you can just come online. So from 1 month, returning on May 16, then we can have in-person report, right? But still you can come in person here. Okay?
Geshe, I didn't understand. Who is going to be, is it going to be Anila, or are you going to bring somebody?
No, I will talk. I will come in online.
Okay.
So, and then you can watch in TV.
Okay, so you can do from home if everybody's...
Yeah, I will do from California. So therefore, the California Center, I make class on Saturday instead of Sunday. So because Sunday I'm taking these things. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And a nice day.